Wicked, 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 wicked. Wicked tones, you know.
Do I miss anything about competing? Yeah. I mean, I miss certain things. I don't miss the whole journey it takes to get on stage, but I like being on stage and being lean and all that shit. Feeling like you're lean and tight and dry and like you feel every muscle. It's like that's a feeling I haven't felt in a long time. So I mean, other than that, I don't miss the whole process. Like I think if I did it now though, not that I couldn't do it now, but if I did it at my age now and like my mindset now is a lot different than when I competed before, so I think I'd have an easier time with the dieting and the this and the that, because like I never really had a hard time with it because I came from a background of like playing football and playing sports that were actually hard, like where like the outside of the gym wasn't the hard part. It was actually playing the fucking sport was really tough. Like that's why it's like it's comical to me to like these guys are still eating like, and I've been there, so I understand what they're feeling. But it's like these guys are like crying, guys and girls crying about the lower calorie, like on a diet, even leading into a show. But you have to remember, you're still on more food than like some people eat in like 2 days, 3 days. There's people out there starving, man. Like, and you're bitching about eating 2,000 calories or 1,500 calories at like maybe a drastic try and drop some weight. But like, you understand, like you're still eating quality food and being active, probably living in a decent home and going about life, and you're just bitching because you're hungry. Well, motherfuckers are bitching because they're hungry because they don't have money to eat. So it's like, maybe take a look at yourself at the next time you start complaining like that and realize you kind of have to be able to complain about that. It's probably a privilege. So stop taking yourself so seriously and acting like this is so tough, right? Like, it's like I remember when I stopped playing football, I played football in college, and for 4 years, I was there for 5. I redshirted my first year, but I went through like 5 years of fucking 2-a-days in the August heat and full pads until like they kind of bitch made the rules, and like the NCAA came in and told people you can't do that because guys were dying of heat stroke and all this crazy. It was crazy, but before that, like halfway through my college career, we were still doing all that, like twice a day pad practices out in the fucking scorching heat. And this is in Rhode Island. This is not in like Texas or Florida or like Alabama where these guys like know real heat. You know what I mean? And it's like you had to do that for like 2 weeks solid at least. And then it cut down to like 1-a-days, right? And getting ready for the season to start. It's like these guys, I don't think they've ever had faced adversity in their life. Where it's like, when I got into bodybuilding, I was like, all I got to do is work out and then eat this food. Like I don't have to go physically like compete against someone or like run till I'm like I can't feel my legs, or you know what I mean, or get run over by dudes, get hurt, get your fucking knee pushed, like blown out, your elbow fucked up, your hands fucked up. Like I was like, this is the easiest sport in the world. Like this isn't even a sport, this is just fun. So like, yeah, when it comes down to it, like, because most guys lift like absolute pussies, especially on lower level. I'm not talking about top pros, guys like that. Whenever I'm making those references, I'm talking to like the losers out there who are like thinking they're on that trajectory to like being these guys, but they're so delusional, it's not even funny. It's like, if that's all you have to stress about, like you got it easy, man. I think that's why a lot of athletes who transition into bodybuilding do so well with it. Maybe not like their physiques may not be like top, but like competing and dieting is just like simple to them, because they think about a guy who played in like the NFL, so he's probably been playing football since he was a toddler, and now he tells them like, oh, you don't have to go out there and get fucking like mangled by people anymore. All you got to do is just work out and go home and eat. He's like, what? This is the easiest thing, and take pictures. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the easiest thing ever. And like these guys walk around this gym, like different gyms around the world, like there's guys that are there to just work, but there's a lot of people walking around the gym with their fucking chest all puffed up and they're fucking badasses because they train. It's like, dude, you can't do shit physically. You can't even throw a punch, let alone like defend yourself. You're just hoping that your bigness and like, oh, I got muscle, I look mean at people. that this is going to cause something, right? This is going to keep people away from me. And it's like I get accused of being intimidating and all this stuff by people who don't even know me, because I guess I just say what I think, and I'm not afraid to be myself. I don't give a shit what you think about what I say. You know what I mean? But it's just like this whole society, this whole like kind of, how could I say it, culture of lifting, where it's like you're somehow a badass because you lift, or like you're like some type of tough guy because you deadlift. It's like, are you though? Like, really, are you? Because if someone came up to you and pulled your card, would you do well in that situation, or would you just back out like a bitch? Probably. But it's like this whole notion of like, it's not the movies anymore, right? It's like where the big guy's intimidating. Like, there's guys out there I know, they're half my size, would beat the shit out of me. You need to waddle on the treadmill for a half hour? Like, Jesus, man. Favorite exercise pairing for each muscle group? I don't know, I give you a couple. Like, I like doing a pressing motion with a fly motion. I don't like to do necessarily back-to-back pressing motions. Near the end of a workout, I might, where like I'm just trying to like work a limited range. I might like work a limited range press, and then like a decline press, right? Just to hit different angles. I like the idea of like either pressing and then opening, or opening and then pressing on a superset.
How about for legs?
I don't know, lately I've been a big fan of like doing like really getting really good depth on the leg press, and like really letting the person's hips sink down and really letting their feet kind of slide beside their obliques basically, and then getting them to get up and do like a more wide stance, like really open kneed hack squat. So they're like getting deep into like their inner thigh and stuff. The new clothing merch is hopefully going to be done or ready to be launched by the end of the month. I'm just trying to like finalize a few last minute design changes we had. I think people are going to like. I want to get them in on this drop. We have like 5 or 6 designs right now that are solid, and then there's just one design we're waiting for to get done, and then it'll be coming out and hopefully offending a lot of people. The biggest changes training like for football then to bodybuilding was, it was a long time ago that shift happened, but I remember vividly, like for bodybuilding it was just very like strength based, power based, like 3 sets of whatever, 4 sets of whatever, based off 1 rep max calculations and yada yada yada. But it was nowhere near the amount of volume that I started doing when I started training for bodybuilding. Like the volume was just like 10 times what I was doing prior to that, and just like crazy amounts of like, I'd never felt that kind of like blood flow to a muscle, where like when I first started training for bodybuilding with my buddy Joe down in Rhode Island, he really showed me what needed to be done and how I needed to train, and I never questioned anything he said. I just went with what he said. And I remember like my chest would feel like it was like ripped apart, because I'd never done like all these drop sets and like heavy drops, and like then move right over to like an incline press on like hammer strength, drop there, like just flooding these areas, like these muscles with blood. Like they'd only probably ever been at that point filled to like 25%. But now it was like pushing like close to 100 in my mind. So I'm like, it was just it was an eye-opening experience the first like 5-6 months I started training for bodybuilding, especially with legs. Holy fuck, that was like I'd never felt that before. I don't think I even felt my quad before that. I was just like moving weight with my hips. Yes, but not in the very narrow view that many people have of it. My thoughts on natural bodybuilding is that like, good for you if you want to wear that as your badge of honor as to why you never like reached your potential, and that's cool, that's your thing. Is it possible to train one session width with the other session thickness for back? Well, of course it's possible. I don't know, how is it not? I don't know what you're asking me there. Like, of course it's possible. Like, if you want me to get into detail, like, yeah, you could do both of those in back-to-back sessions, like I've preached before with things, and just see how it see how it works for you. I mean, it might not work for everybody. You might deal with a lot of soreness or a lot of like, you're not recovering well. But if you're at the level that a lot of these guys are at, like these top pros, I think your recovery is pretty dead on, and you could definitely give that a try. Maybe not implement it forever, but maybe give yourself a little like month burst of doing that and see what happens. Obviously, you're gonna have to understand your weights are gonna have to go down. You're gonna have to really focus on like squeezing the back and opening up the back and really working on like concave and convex angles of your back and just getting it to open and close so you understand what parts you're hitting, and that's gonna require you doing less weight. It's not just like 2 back-to-back days of barbell rows and fucking T-bar rows. Well, that lift needs to be abolished, by the way, but everyone keeps asking me about my fucking shorts. Yeah, it's like go on Nike.com and just buy them, guys. $40 Nike shorts, like acting like they're fucking Gucci or something, like limited edition. Like I literally found shorts that fit me and I bought 5 pairs just so I knew I'd never run out. So to people watching, it probably looks like I'm some dirtbag. I wear the same shorts every day, but I literally have, I think at this point, 4 different pairs because I ruined one of them. Yeah, so I'm a lazy bum. I don't shower, I don't leave the gym, I just wear the same shorts. Am I tracking my macros? Yeah.
Have you ever tracked your macros?
No, not like, even when I competed, I never had like, I'd always just start with like a diet that was like usually too much food for me to eat comfortably. And then we just start like slowly implementing like cardio or different things, and then start changing variables within that original diet, like just dropping, like instead of 2 cups of rice, we go to 1.5 cups, and then we cut down to 1 cup, and then we like, as we're getting closer, looking at conditioning and just kind of measuring off the mirror, right? So I don't know, I would assume my protein back then was more than adequate because I would seem to like respond pretty well, but nowadays I don't really, I have like a basic template of what I want to get in a day. Like I've said before, I follow like, my meal plan is very similar to like the vertical diet, something I like adhere to, just because I like that style of eating. But I mean, I'm guilty of always veering off course and substituting a meal or 2 for fucking like 3 muffins and a fucking ice cap and a burger. And you gotta like enjoy your fucking life, right? Like, you can't just always be fucking. I understand it's time to like hanker down and let's get in shape and let's do a show, but like, I don't want to walk around with like 8%, 6%, whatever body fat year round. Like, I never felt good, like really lean. Like obviously you look good, you look in the mirror and you look good and you feel good, but like, I just never, maybe it was my protocols or things I was doing, I just never felt like I had a lot of energy or that I was like in the best frame of mind, or when my body fat got down that low. But like I said, I was also doing probably some weird shit I shouldn't have done, and hormones were all whatever. But I like eating too much to be that strict all the time.
Getting huge.
Oh, Craig said that. Craig Goliath. I'm not getting huge like him, but I'm just trying to stay where I am at without turning into a blubbery mess. Craig's like the biggest dude in the fucking world. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how that guy hasn't like he's super well known in our community, and he's a really nice guy. I met him in person one time and message here and there, but like, he's such a fucking monster, man. Like, how is that not like some world famous thing? The dude's like so massive. It's like the Incredible Hulk walking around in real life. Like, so no, I'm not getting huge like you. We will fuck this up big time. When people do this, they don't understand like the arcing motion of this machine going up like this. It doesn't mean you should pull it up. You see all these people, they stand with even double arm, and they stand and they go, and they're like, their hand gets higher than their shoulder. And like they do, I see it all the time, just this like flapping, like you're just spreading these and flapping them apart. But it's like, if you don't keep the same posture of your elbow locked over, and I can scoot all the way to the side. So this is now in the midline of my body. So I'm gonna start off the stack already. I'm not trying to start here and go. and feel the stack come off. I can lean to here and I can keep my elbow turned over. So I'm already on delt because I'm pushing elbow outward and my hand's inside my elbow. It's not here, it's here. So when I go to sweep, it's my hand holding tight, but it's my elbow driving out and up. And on this, you can rock this way to get more height. So instead of going, or like trying to get higher, just rock away and let the momentum pull you back to where you started. So I'm sweeping, if I'm holding on to nothing, I'm sweeping this out. I'm sweeping it out on the line that it's on. I'm not trying to pick it up. Don't pick the fucking thing up. Like, the more we pick up, so if I try and pick this up, it's all front delt. So I'm basically like killing the rest of my shoulder, like deading it. So I'm just rolling up on front delt. And you can see it. Whereas if I'm here and my elbow's forward and I'm sweeping, I'm pushing out on mid delt and just rocking out. So I rock away, up. This is a machine that a lot of gyms have, so you guys can stop bitching about like, oh, it's not, that machine isn't in my gym. Can you show me with a dumbbell? I'm like, nope. So I never leave this structure. Be tight here, flat wrist. I'm not here. I'm flat wrist, like I'm throwing a punch. And I'm up through my elbow and my hand, rip up, fall away.
My lower body.
My lower body is more muscular than my upper body. How can I maintain it in a men's physique type? I don't know, man.
Any ideas?
Train your upper body more often? Isn't men's physique the board shorts?
Yes.
What are you worried about? Your legs are covered. These questions answer themselves, guys. Like, I don't understand what I'm going to tell you. Like, oh, well, if you do this, then your hamstring will magically feel better. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, people just want to, like, a sounding board. Like, they're not even asking me the question. They just want to put it out there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay, right? Right?
Right?
I don't know. You might not be. When am I coming to California for a lift and tattoo? I don't know. I used to spend a lot of time in California. Not so much anymore. Shout out to Flex Gym in Woodland Hills. They're always, it's like my home away from home. I mean, I'd like to come out. I don't know about getting tattooed, but.
Do you have any more spaces for a tattoo?
Yeah, spaces I'm really fucking waiting to get done because I'm not looking forward to them. But there's great tattoo artists in California. Like, fantastic. And I'm not a big fan of LA, to be honest. I like surrounding areas of LA, like I like the Valley, like Woodland Hills and stuff like that, but LA is a different place. Yeah, you think bodybuilding's phony, go to LA.
Yeah.
You have a chance at bodybuilding. I don't understand why having 2 kids and being 34,
12 hours a day of work.
working 12 hours a day would stop you. I mean, you still have the rest of that. I realize that's a long shift, but I'm sure if you want it bad enough, you can get in the gym and for an hour a day, hour and a half, and you're at work 12 hours, so at least you know you're on a schedule. You can probably time your eating. So you just gotta start looking at the positives of your situation as opposed to like looking at everything you're going through as a hurdle, right? Like, you're regimented. Most people aren't. You probably have less time to really focus on the fact that you're dieting and you're hungry and this and that because you're working for the good majority of the day. And the other part of the day you're either training or sleeping, right? There's a lot of people that are in that situation, maybe not working 12 hours a day. That's a little bit much. I hope you're getting good overtime. But, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who, pro bodybuilders and pro physique competitors and figure competitors, moms and dads, who get it done because they choose to, right? It's all a matter of your priorities. So I think if you wanted it bad enough, then you should be fine. That's without seeing your physique and without seeing like if you have any potential. You might be behind the 8 ball on that one, but like logistically speaking and like just outside randomly speaking about it, looking in, it's like, yeah, you could do it. You just have to make that choice, right? To dedicate yourself to the whatever plan it is you want to follow. So. This chick